In today's video, we're running down 10 players who could net a big move following their stellar form at this summer's European Championship. Let's go. 10. Breel Embolo. Widely considered one of Europe's most exciting young attackers when he transferred from Basel to Schalke for €26.5 million in the summer of 2016, it's fair to say Breel Embolo hasn't fulfilled his potential in the 5 years since. Injuries plagued him for a large portion of his time in Gelsenkirchen, making just 28 Bundesliga starts across 3 campaigns before moving on to Borussia Mönchengladbach in 2019. And while he's had more success with the Fohlen, contributing to a goal every 119 minutes in 2019-20, his output dropped off in the 2021 season, despite spending more time in his preferred centre-forward position, with almost half his minutes coming off the bench. However, he entered Euro 2020 in good form, having registered a goal and 2 assists in his previous 3 competitive games for Switzerland, and his man-of-the-match display against Wales in their opening game showcased his excellent all-round ability, dangerous on the turn, superb pace and balance, aerial presence, and a willingness to track back and win possession. Now 24, Embolo should be gearing up for his peak years. And while he's yet to register double figures for goals in a league campaign, he could explode. After all, even in a down year, he's averaged 2.2 shots inside the box and 2.6 dribbles per 90. With 2 years left on his current deal and a market value of below €30 million, now could be a good time to seal Embolo's signature. 9. Roman Yaremchuk. One of the surprise stars of the Euro 2020 group stage, Ukraine centre-forward Roman Yaremchuk entered the tournament off the back of a fine season for Belgian outfit Ghent, but was far from prolific for his country in the build-up, netting just 3 goals in 12 international appearances, stretching back to March 2020. But having taken up the mantle from Jonathan David for his club, netting 17 goals and bagging 6 assists in the Pro League last term, representing by far his finest return since landing in Belgium 4 years ago, Yaremchuk has replicated this form for the yellow and blue at the Euros. 2 goals and 1 assist in his first 2 appearances, and a handful for opposition defences, Yaremchuk has become the focal point Ukraine was said to be without going into the tournament. Having signed a mammoth 8-year deal with Ghent when he signed with them back in 2017, the towering 25-year-old still has another 4 years left on his contract. But his physicality, movement, and ability to score with both feet makes him a very attractive proposition. It's no surprise to see both Wolves and West Ham linked with him, as well as Milan, and according to reports, he could be available for £25 million. 8. Pau Torres. Spain may have been far from their spectacular best at this summer's European Championships, but one man who is gaining a ton of retention regardless is centre-half Pau Torres. Long linked with Manchester United, and with Real Madrid now said to be interested too, the 24-year-old looks destined to make a big move this summer or next. Notable for his physical prowess and ability to play out from the back, the Spaniard has showcased his pedigree at this summer's tournament, winning 3.5 aerial duels and completing a whopping 7 long balls a game, with a superb completion rate of 78%. This is reflected in his form for Villarreal, where only 3 teammates average more than his 4.2 passes into the final third each match, a figure that would rank him above every centre-back bar Harry Maguire at Manchester United. Naturally left-sided too, Torres is the kind of player more in demand than most in Europe right now, so it's no surprise to see the Football Observatory value him at over €50 million. United are best placed to land him this summer, but with the Athletic's Laurie Whitwell suggesting he could be open to waiting longer for one of Barca or Real to come calling, it will likely take an exceptional effort to get him out of Spain. 7. Milan Škriniar. Along with first-time qualifiers Finland and North Macedonia, Slovakia were considered the biggest outsiders by a number of bookmakers heading into Euro 2020. But following their impressive victory over Poland, won with a tremendous strike by Milan Škriniar, it was clear they'd been underestimated. And even after losing to Sweden, still sat above Spain in Group E. But regardless of their performance in the tournament, centre-back Skriniar was always going to be a fixture in the rumour mill this summer. One of Serie A's most consistent and well-established defenders, the former Sampdoria man finally got his hands on the Scudetto this year. But this was quickly followed up by the news that Inter Milan needed to end the upcoming transfer window with an €80 million surplus. Despite reports throughout the season that Skriniar was set to sign a new contract with the Nerazzurri, this has now gone quiet, and with 2 years left to run on his current deal, the €60 million valuation, which once put off number 1 suitors Tottenham, has the potential to come down. And although he's recently stated his desire to stay at the club in spite of the confusion surrounding Antonio Conte's departure, if Inter deem him a sellable asset, he may not have much choice. 6. Robin Gosens. For anyone who's been watching Serie A for the last 2 years, Robin Gosens' man of the match display in Germany's 4-2 dismantling of Portugal won't have come as a surprise. Since signing for Atalanta back in 2017, the wingback has become increasingly influential in Gasperini's side, scoring 20 goals and providing 14 assists in the league since the start of 2019-20. Last season, he married 3.1 tackles and interceptions with around 2 shots and 6.6 progressive passes per 90, showcasing his strength in both the defensive and attacking phases of play. And while these numbers may well come down if he leaves the Bergamo club, who outscored everyone bar Bayern Munich in Europe's top 5 leagues last term, there's no doubt he has the ability to thrive on a bigger stage. 27 next month, with 2 years left on his contract, and with Atlanta famously good at selling their best players at a big profit, there's no better time for Gosens to move on. With a reported €35 million price tag, the German international has attracted interest from Barcelona, but also harbours ambitions of playing in the Bundesliga for the first time. 5. Denzel Dumfries. Despite being relatively unfancied when they entered the tournament, mainly due to a string of uninspiring performances and results following Ronald Koeman's departure in 2020, the Netherlands have been one of the standout sides at this summer's Euros, albeit in a weaker group. And Denzel Dumfries has been crucial to their success so far. His late header won the Yaremchuk their end-to-end clash with Ukraine in the first game, while his strike against Austria also sealed the points to guarantee their place in the knockouts. His late runs into the final third have become a hallmark of his team's style of play, averaging 2.4 shots and 1.2 key passes per 90 from right wing back. And he's versatile too. While in 2019-20 he played a similarly attacking role for PSV, albeit in a 4-3-3, clocking up nearly 2 shots a match and ending the season with 7 goals, he's been perfectly adept at picking up more defensive work and being more of a creator in the final third under Roger Schmidt. Linked most strongly with Bayern Munich and Inter Milan, Dumfries would certainly add quality and depth to the Bavarian Giants, while he'd be a good budget replacement for Achraf Hakimi in Milan, with a reported release clause of €15 million. Having publicly expressed an interest in moving to the Premier League or Bundesliga, he may well favour a switch to the Allianz. 4. Manuel Locatelli. Followers of this channel will know that we're big fans of Italy midfielder Manuel Locatelli. Over the last year, we've recommended him as an option for both Arsenal and Real Madrid, while Manchester City were also linked with him towards the back end of last season. And his superb brace against Switzerland has only increased the 23-year-old's profile. Once labelled the new Pirlo by former Milan owner Silvio Berlusconi as he came through at the Rossoneri, his €14 million switch to Sassuolo in 2019 is one of the biggest bargains seen in Serie A in recent times, with his defensive nous and passing range crucial to the Nero Verdi's success in the last 2 years. A deep-lying playmaker with physicality to match his skill, Locatelli has also long been linked with Italian giants Juventus, who are reportedly ready to offer €30 million plus teenage centre-back Radu Dragusin to get him out of the Mapei Stadium. While former Juve sporting director Fabio Paratici is also keen on landing him for Spurs, the latest reports suggest he's far more keen on the Bianconeri. 3. Kieffer Moore. The focal point of the Wales attack this summer, Kieffer Moore came into his first international tournament off the back of a superb season in the Championship, one in which he hit 20 goals in a league campaign for the first time since 2013, when he played in the National League South. In his first season with Cardiff City following a £2 million move from Wigan, the 6'5" centre-forward accounted for almost a third of the Bluebirds' total goal output, and while his 2.8 shots per 90 was hardly world-beating, the physical edge he gives the Welsh club's attack is invaluable, with only Adebayo Akinfenwa and Millwall's Matt Smith winning more than his 11.6 aerial duels per game. With Cardiff reportedly not accepting offers lower than £15 million, and with his profile now much more prominent due to international exposure, a gamble given he turns 29 this summer and has never played in the top flight. Still, we can't help think that a move to Burnley might be on the cards. 2. Marcel Sabitzer. One of the most complete midfielders in the Bundesliga, Marcel Sabitzer signed for RB Leipzig way back in 2014, when he was just 20 years of age. 7 years later, and with just 1 year remaining on his contract, it looks like the Austrian international could finally exit the Red Bull Arena. Sabitzer has impressed alongside his Leipzig teammate Konrad Laimer for Austria at this summer's Euros, making 1.7 tackles and interceptions, creating 1.3 chances, and taking 2.3 shots per 90. All numbers which correspond closely with his performances at club level. Most strongly linked with Tottenham, Sabitzer has said he won't decide on his future until after the Euros. But if he doesn't sign a new deal with Leipzig, as is expected, he will no doubt be gettable for a cut price fee, with the German club unlikely to let him go for nothing next summer. 1. Renato Sanches. The young player of the tournament at Euro 2016, it's crazy to think that half a decade down the line, Renato Sanches is still only 23. And while he endured some time in the wilderness at Bayern Munich, his star has risen again following his move to Lille in 2019. Despite impressing in a limited amount of minutes for Portugal so far this summer, it's his club form that makes Sanches such an enticing prospect. His 2.8 dribbles and 7.3 passes into the final third rank second in the Liga and winning squad, while no one could match his 5.7 accurate long balls a game, and he was no slouch creatively either, completing 1.3 key passes, the joint fourth best average in a side which was not particularly attacking last season. Able to both dictate the game with his passing and drive play forward with his engine, the former Benfica man is ready for another step up in his career. The rumour mill is most recently linked in with a move to Liverpool, and with just 2 years left on his contract, now may be the time to cash in. Something Lille are very consistent in doing with their star players. So team, that was our 10 players who will get big transfers after the Euros, but who have we missed? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications on, click on screen now for more great content, and we'll catch you next time.